Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to It's Just Coffee and welcome back to our World of Coffee Dubai special. You've already heard some of the amazing conversations we've had, like our chat with Wilfred Lemastis Jr., the farmer behind the world's most expensive coffee. And we chatted with the World Barista Champion, Mikhail J. Sin, but we're just getting started. For the next 2 weeks, we're doubling down, double the caffeine, double the podcast. We're dropping 4 new episodes each week, Tuesday to Friday. More deep dives, more behind-the-scenes moments, and more of the world's best coffee minds, all straight from Dubai. So grab a coffee, settle in, and get ready for another episode of It's Just Coffee. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, welcome back to the It's Just Coffee podcast with none other than still World Barista Champion from 2014, Hidenori Izaki-sama. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Kak. Thank you for having me.
When was the last time we saw each other? It was probably two or 3 years ago at
Yeah, 2 or 3
Melbourne.
years ago, I think, yeah.
You've been a busy guy since then.
Okay, yeah.
So let's introduce you to the listener again. So you got, you're running the Cokuun Coffee Shop in Japan.
Yes.
I've heard nothing but amazing things.
Thank you.
My business partner has been there, and obviously one of our mutual friends, Matt Perger, goes there.
Yeah.
How's it all going there?
Cokuun, yeah. We are very, fortunate enough to receive customers from all around the world. Our customers now 90% from overseas.
Yeah.
So many customers from overseas coming over just to look for Cokuun, which is amazing. But, we only have 4 seats.
Yeah. That's kind of what makes it more exclusive and valuable, right?
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
you've got, is Miki Suzuki still working with you there?
Yeah, Miki's our GM. So Miki's on the bar all the time. So she serves all the coffee omakase out there.
Miki's probably one of the. I asked Cole Terode and David Crosby a question yesterday. I had them on the podcast, and I said, "Who do you think is the greatest barista champion to not win a World Barista Championship?"
Yeah.
I think Miki would have to be right up there.
Wow.
Her routine with the double freezing of things in, I think it was Korea. She's, I've got nothing but amazing things to say about her. I look forward to seeing her again.
Thank you.
But what are you doing here in Dubai?
So this time I came here for Dubai. I came to Dubai because I need to attend to a SCA board meeting because I just became a board member of the SCA.
For Global?
For Global, yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what does a board member for SCA do? So you're part of the governing body, make decisions for SCA across the world, or?
Yeah, it's more like we are supporting SCA in order to run the competitions, in order to run the exhibitions, in order to make a right decision to make specialty coffee future more brighter. So, and then this year is very important for all of us because it's the 2025, and then we need to set up the new key objectives for coming up to next 3 years. So that, and I think it's gonna be a very important start for all of us to get things going.
I think what you do this year will set the path for the future of the specialty coffee industry. Never been a more pivotal and important time to kind of set out a plan, set out a goal, and guide our industry through it. Before we went on air, you and I were having a conversation about how you think we need to talk to consumers more as an industry. And I actually think this is one of the most important things. It's almost existential for the specialty coffee industry. We need to talk to the customers a bit better. When you say that, what are the things that you mean? Why do you think that's important?
Well, let's say specialty coffee industry. So we always talk about supply chain, right?
Yeah.
We pay respect for the farmers, we pay respect for the roasters, we pay respect for the baristas. But I think what it matters during COVID times, what we learned the most is that if retail dies, entire supply chain dies.
Yeah.
So to me, it is very clear that in order to make specialty coffee more accessible and then make a bigger scale, real impact to the society, we need to talk to us consumers. So in a consumer the way we talk to consumers is very, very important in order to make specialty coffee more available and a truly meaningful for the consumers.
And going back to what you were saying about the objectives that you'd like to set with SCA, I know you probably haven't had the board meetings and stuff yet, just got on the board, but what are some things that you would outline? I'm asking you randomly, so what's some things Hidenori will suggest?
Me personally, it's nothing related to SCA decisions.
Yeah.
Me personally, because I've been working on endorsement. I've been working on the retails for quite a long time. So I consider myself as a professional of the marketing branding for consumers.
Yep.
So that's why since 2014, and I've been working with so many different companies around the globe. Yeah. And I assume I'm the first one to start doing a lot of endorsements publicly through my profession.
Yeah, well, I think that era of barista competition, you kind of won when it was beginning to become its most popular.
Yeah. So then I realized that, the consumer, especially for the consumer the consumer always wants to understand coffee, right? But industry always make coffee very complex and complicated all the time. So that's why the specialty coffee is not yet getting much market share as much as we think it's important. But now the time changed, and now like what you do, Eat Just Coffee podcast as well. So that we have more medias, or we have more way to approach to the consumer directly in order to deliver the true value of a specialty coffee. So I think we see so many opportunity and value to it.
I think having very well-known people enter the coffee industry is also a great thing. And to give you an example, do you know who Jimmy Butler is?
Yeah, Jimmy.
So the NBA superstar. So they've got a booth here with Big Face Coffee.
Yeah.
And I actually think that someone like him entering the industry does amazing things for the industry.
For sure.
Yeah, we need to welcome people like that with open arms.
Yeah. So in my personal opinion, right? So it is important for barista to become a celebrity chef.
A celebrity chef.
Yeah, something like celebrity chef, for example, because I personally connected with the dining scene a lot. Yeah. So I connected with top celebrity chefs around the world. They came to visit to Cokuun, and we connect each other. We go dining, drinking all the time. But what I learned from them was that they becoming a celebrity chef, and getting popularity around the consumer market impacts a lot to the industry, entire supply chain. So that's why I believe that making barista also, celebrity barista, let's say.
Yeah.
It is very important. That's why I encourage barista to be on the medias or be, collaboration or endorsement with a big company. Do it as much as you can.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
It's and that example of Jimmy Butler is one example. There's another NFL player. His name's Cooper Kupp. He's a wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. He's got a coffee business now. And I say we need to get these people to the table and part of the broader communication as well.
Right.
It will help us all.
100%.
What do you think the odds of maybe getting Shohei Ohtani into the coffee industry are? Because I look at that guy. He's an amazing athlete.
Right.
Very humble guy. Has he ever been to Cokuun?
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah.
No. I would love to have him.
Shohei.
For sure.
If you're listening.
Yeah.
Please go to Cokuun.
Please come to Cokuun.
Tell him in Japanese.
コクーン来てくださいよ、大谷さん。
Shohei, we want you.
Yeah. Come down to Cokuun.
I encourage it. Hey, what's happening in the Japanese coffee market at the moment? Because I think when I come to Dubai, I think there's a lot more experiential coffee service going on.
Right.
And obviously, we've discussed it on this podcast a couple times now, but people really look to the Japanese market for that experience, the omakase style thing. So roasters, cafes like yourself. Let's put Coffee Mameya in that category as well. What's happening in the Japanese coffee scene more broadly?
I think now Japanese coffee market is one of the few market that can sell a high value price coffee to the consumers regularly,
yes,
right?
I agree.
So, for example, a coffee shop like Leaves, for example, the Leaves, they only opens Friday, weekends, and Monday, 4 days a week. And then if you go there, probably you arrive in the afternoon and then queue is like maybe 20 people waiting for it.
Wow.
And then all the coffee is not that cheap. The coffee you imagine is maybe $2 or $3 per cup of coffee. So for them, maybe $20 or $30 per cup of coffee.
Wow.
And then they are looking for the exceptional experience. And the reason why I think that Japan got so much attention to those omakase experiences is because I think that Japan has a long history and culture for the green tea, right? The tea ceremony.
Yeah.
Because we take everything very serious, right? So that even the tea ceremony, for example, it's ritual.
Yeah.
So if you go to Leaves Coffee or even Mamea or maybe Cokuun, like you see us, elevating coffee to a ritual, right? So that when the most of the consumer goes there to experience the time, not only consuming, good cup of coffee, but also they value a time spending with us. So
it's interesting you bring that up because matcha has experienced a PR boom across the world. We need to, specialty coffee, they need to hire the matcha PR person because matcha's just done such an incredible job expanding throughout the globe. All the 14-year-old girls with their, iced matcha on TikTok and doing their things. And I got to say, even myself, I find myself enjoying matcha more and more. Anyone who watches this podcast, when we started 1 year ago, I had nothing but bad things to say about matcha. Now look at me. I'm acknowledging its success, but
right.
Would you agree with that? We need to kind of have that same level of, I guess, PR for specialty coffee.
I think so. But for me, the specialty coffee is a luxury product from my point of view. So because if you know matcha, right? The matcha got also very cheap matcha that you can drink everywhere in the world, but also there's a very exclusive matcha you cannot really buy it as well. So depending on which market you targeting to, so you also need to change the PO strategy, right? So to me, the specialty coffee definitely need the spokesperson who can truly connect with those, those level with the fine dining scene or like, 5-star hotel, those PO. It's a different strategy, different PO, right?
Yeah, I totally think it's coming as well. And I think, one thing I've sort of discussed with our podcast group is that we would love to be able to start making documentaries about coffee. To give you one example, do you follow Formula One at all?
Yeah.
So have you ever watched the Netflix show Drive to Survive?
Yeah.
So many more people have been driven to Formula One because of Drive to Survive. Maybe we need something similar.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think too. Because, for example, like so I'm taking an example of the chef all the time, but, for example, Iron Chef, for example, that makes people very famous as well, right? And then also there's so many Netflix shows that featuring celebrity chef. So if you getting know the philosophy or if you getting know the personality, so you're getting more deeper understanding and also you got more interest towards to, for example, coffee as well, right? So coffee is such a complex supply chain. So there's so many, complex, supply chains to a coffee, in the coffee industry. So that's why we need to kind of make this supply chain more simple. And then also put more highlight to, the maybe producers or maybe roasters or maybe baristas.
What do you think what would you like to see more of in the Japanese coffee scene? I've got a lovely relationship with like Japanese coffee and baristas. So many Japanese people come and work in Melbourne and learn their skills and go back to Japan and do wonderful, great things. What would you like to see more of in Japan?
That's very difficult questions, but I think now in Japanese coffee market, what we need to do is we need to think how we can elevate coffee experience even more higher than what we are doing right now. Because now what we do...
How can it go higher? It's so good.
It is great, but I think it's more about what I'm talking about is more like the collaboration, for example, right? For why not for the pairing?
Yeah.
Mariage. Maybe, pairing is a food, pairing is dessert. So why not for the Michelin star? Why not for the World Best 50? Yeah. So there's so many opportunity for Japanese coffee community to, reaching to more higher level.
And I totally agree with that. And I think the barriers to entry are now getting lower and lower. It's probably never been easier to train someone to be a barista. The amount of technology that we have now, and I totally agree. We could probably get someone from scratch, never made coffee before, making pretty good coffee in in a short period of time now, shorter than before. I think it's not too far away from us.
No, you guys talked with Mark about the AI, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for artificial intelligence. But I really believe that if you define the work of barista as making coffee, your job is taken by the AI.
Yeah.
Easy. Because most of the super automatic machine already, they extract the best coffee all the time. And then what's good is that they don't leave. They don't betray you. They always
like
stay with you,
do.
right? So they always stay with you, right? So that's why I think now as an industry, this is why I think 2025 is very important, because we need to think completely different way. We as an industry, we definitely need to integrate artificial intelligence to our services.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, because the labor shortage, higher labors, that's a bigger issue. Not issue, but that's the problem.
Challenge.
That's a challenge for everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why that's why we as a barista also need to change the definition of the work. We are not here to make coffee, but we're here to embrace communication.
I think this is probably something we've gotten more mature with as an industry as well. I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago, a lot of people feared automation taking baristas' jobs. But now I think there's an acknowledgement. There's more jobs available than there are baristas to fill them, particularly where I'm from in Australia.
Right.
So, I mean, there's never been a more important need for embracing things like that. And I think, we've come a long way as an industry maturing.
Right. For talking about AI, right?
Yeah.
Now, since I got connected with the technology people, so I connected with the one of the guy who runs the resort hotel in the Bali.
Yep.
And that hotel is beautiful, gorgeous. But one of the owner of the hotel, he told me that after he introduced the chatbot, which is AI generated by the AI, so that the customer satisfaction rate goes up to 20%.
How so?
Because this is the interesting part. Because he told me that in a chatbot, the consumer can ask something very shameful. For example, is water free?
Oh.
Can I bring back pajama to my home?
Wow.
Free. So by texting those silly question to the chatbot, so that the consumer can actually feel safer.
Yeah, they don't experience judgment in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then that clicked my head. Yeah. So when so that's why I started introducing that chatbot to the Instagram account to Cokuun. Right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, now I'm doing it because I believe this is the best way to integrate the AI into coffee shop and then coffee services, because reservation is always tricky, right?
Yeah.
So that's why now when I integrate the chatbot, and the chatbot can reply everything.
We've got only a few minutes left.
Oh, it's already
on this. I could talk to you for hours. I want to stay on this subject before we leave. That's one example. Can you give one or two more examples of technology that you think will influence our industry and how, or you would like to see influence our industry?
That's a very difficult question, but I think as I said, for AI, especially for the customer service, CRM, customer relationship management, AI can be very useful. From my point of view, now I'm building a knowledge database, but most of all the question that consumer ask for us can be solved through the chatbot. Right. If you write down the right knowledge database, that's what I'm doing lately. So they can handle the question very quick, because now.
Is there a program readily available for that, or you're developing it with someone, or
developing with somebody?
Okay. Right.
Yeah, developing with somebody.
Pardon me. Continue.
No, sorry. And then so that once you complete the knowledge database, it is much easier for consumer to ask our chatbot. Yeah, for example, how much coffee do I get through the coffee omakase? The chatbot can reply you instantly, 2 cups maximum. Don't worry. Do you deal with allergies and stuff? Yes, I do. So since we are in social media society, so in the consumer kind of expect to company to reply to you within 3 minutes, which is impossible if you got like inquiry from around the world, right?
Only a chatbot could do it.
Chatbot can do it immediately. So that's one thing that we can do it really well in coffee industry, I think, because in the coffee industry also got so many questions, especially regarding coffee. Is so complex, right? So especially like how I bought the beautiful coffee, how can I brew this coffee?
It's probably a good thing now that I think about it for staff as well. Like, can you imagine when you're experiencing trouble, dialing in a coffee in the future, you could maybe use a chatbot to assist you.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now, because I'm making a Hidebot right now. No, Hidebot right now. So second part, so first part, CRM, right? Customer relationship management. So that's what you can use. Second part is education. For coffee industry, so many silly questions from the baristas, and they ask me always the same questions. So now I'm also building a chatbot, that reflects all of my ideas: vision, mission, value, business strategy, everything, and then also extractions, So all the knowledge inside of the database, so that when my barista asks, when Cokuun opens, and then the chatbot can, immediately ask you, tell you, 2023, April 1st. Easy.
That's so bizarre. Honestly, I think this is a whole podcast in and of itself. Will you be at MICE this year by any chance? That's in March.
It's in the March, right?
What about Jakarta? Will you be in Jakarta?
Oh, for sure in Jakarta.
I'm going to try and make it to Jakarta this year, because we need to have a
Let's do it.
1 hour long podcast. Just because this is a fascinating topic. And
thank you.
Like you were saying, we need to communicate this not only to our own industry, but most importantly to the consumers.
To the consumers. To make consumers' communication better, we need to use the technology, which is AI. So for me, customer relationship management and baristas educations, that's the key.
Hey, I'm about to interview Mikhail Jasin, our current World Barista Champion. What's one question you want me to ask him?
What's your vision? What do you want to become after being World Barista Champion? What do you want to do?
Okay.
What kind of impact are you expecting to bring to the industry?
I'll make a note to remember this one. But Hidenori, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kag. Good to see you.
Wonderful to see you again. And
thank you.
I'll see you in Jakarta.
Yes.
All right. That's it for the It's Just Coffee podcast, everyone. Thank you so much to Hidenori Izaki here in the world of coffee at Dubai. Thanks also to our sponsor, Eco Barista. Can you believe that? We've got a sponsor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Eco Barista who support us in the podcast. If you're based in Australia, maybe even the world, and you want to use some of their products, go to ecobarista.com.au. 15% off your first order. All right, so that's ecobarista.com.au. Thanks so much again for the support. And as always, it's just coffee. We'll go again. 1, 2, 3. It's just coffee. All right. Done. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. It's too fast, huh?
I know.
Sorry, I thought too